Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new reading. Mingyu's birthday is today. Well, when this video goes up, if everything goes out well, it will be today. Anyway, I am going to do a type of reading that many of you will probably have forgotten about. Maybe it went under the radar of so many out there because I've only done this video once before, and that was with S-Scoops, and then I've never touched it again. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video and I hope you guys like it. And happy birthday to Mingyu. I hope that everyone is celebrating it. I hope he's having a lot of fun and celebrating as well. And also happy birthday to all of my Aries out there. It's your season. I don't really acknowledge signs out there like that, so hey. But anyway, in this reading is gonna be quite lengthy and there's gonna be a lot of sections, so make sure you check the description below for any timestamps because there will be timestamps, and also a little prayer for myself that I remember all the things that have to be in this video, because with S-Scoops I forgot a whole other section even though I had a paper right in front of me that says everything that has to be in this video. And also I want to point into my Patreon since I always forget about it, and in the beginning I should probably talk about it as well. I have opened it. Feel free to look into it. There's 3 different tiers. Make sure you join the one that you want if you want to and if you can. And I'll see you there when you join. But for now, feel free to stay with me here to figure out a little bit about Mingyu's personality in different areas and different sections. To start off, let's just get an idea of how does Mingyu see himself. So 2 cards came out. We have the whale and the lizard. We have water and fire elements here. So with the whale, to me, whales have a very, very special meaning. To me, whales are the symbol of an energy that you feel this wave of energy coming in before you even know what it is all about. Like you can feel miles and miles away, or even years before it happens, you can feel like something's about to happen or something's about to change. And then it kind of like hits you, maybe not slowly, but then it kind of just hits you like, this change. You're like, oh, so that's what happened, right? So that's what I was being warned about or stuff like that. So this well energy is, again, a water element, meaning that Mingyu sees himself as someone that's pretty intuitive, pretty emotional, and someone that is also very easygoing or goes with the flow. He feels like he's someone that's very flexible, someone that can do anything and everything, and he also feels as someone that is very adaptable. He feels like he can adjust to any environment and he can like survive with the skills that he has, which is something that I see in him as well. Now with the lizard here, we have the fire element. So again, this shows that he feels as someone that is very optimistic, someone that's action oriented, someone that really enjoys doing new things as well, and someone that is always ready for adventure. Now, I do have to say that we have the whale facing one side and then we have the lizard facing the opposite side. So all I'm saying is that the energies are not really looking at each other, meaning that Mingyu feels or he sees himself as someone that has like this duality of him, in a sense of he feels like one side of him is what people see and the other side could be something that another group of people may see. The way that I am seeing it myself here is that the lizard energy is what people usually see in his work and his career. I guess on the surface level, this is what people usually perceive or is the first thing they see about him. And then the whale energy is actually the energy that can be perceived in 2 forms I'm seeing right now. The bigger circle is people that, I guess the best way I can see it, or the best way I can describe this to you guys, is that the whale will be representing his ascendant and his moon energy, and then the lizard will be representing his sun energy, meaning that the lizard is how people usually see him on the surface level. Like they don't know him that well, or maybe they just kind of work with him and they're familiar with him. They're kind of acquaintances to Mingyu, but they're not family, they're not friends, but they're not complete strangers. That's kind of how it feels like. And then the whale is how Mingyu feels people see him and his close circles, so close friends, family, and people that he feels a stronger connection with. But I also feel that the whale talks about his ascendant in the sense that this is how some people feel him, without knowing anything about him. So like if people didn't know he was an idol, if people didn't know he was a visual, or didn't know he was a model or an actor, or what? Why did I say actor? He's not an actor. He could be, I guess. Maybe it's in the cards. In the future, he might be an actor. Who knows? But like if people didn't know what he did and people didn't really know much about him, they will also see him as this whale. So I guess people can, in a way, feel the depth the Mingyu carries, even if in the surface level it may not be that obvious. And I think that's how he sees himself, as someone that has enough depth that can be shared with the people that he's closest with, and in a way can also be sensed by strangers that kind of see him first glance. And then the lizard is more of the energy that he usually puts up. I guess in a way it's his mask. Usually a mask has like a negative connotation, and I don't want to go there because I don't think that's necessarily how he sees it. I think he sees that as in like this is just the outside persona that he has. That's just another side of himself, basically. So yeah, again, with the lizard energy, I also feel that he sees himself as someone that can survive anything. So someone that not only is he flexible and someone that can adapt to any environment and someone that goes with the flow, but also someone that can survive the unknown. But let's go on to the next section of this reading, which is personality. So what's Mingyu's personality? Let's just answer the question straight up. What is his personality? We have the Eight of Swords. I'll leave it sideways because that's kind of how it came. The Ten of Wands. Oh, you guys saw that? And the Three of Wands. Like half the deck fell and then a card just kind of flew out. Okay, now this is interesting. Usually cards that come out sideways, I take them as energy that is blocked. Like straight up, it's an obstacle or it's just not really working. So it's not necessarily the same meaning of cards that come reversed. Because when you have a reversal, it can be in the same energy upright but internalized, or it could be the opposite meaning, or it could also be a blockage. But when it's sideways, I take that straight up as an obstacle or a blockage. But right now the word that I'm getting is a disruption. So something that is getting in the way of whatever it is that he's doing. But anyway, let's look at the cards that he got. So for his personality, we have the Ten of Wands, the Eight of Swords sideways, and then we have the Three of Wands. So right away, Mingyu's personality is super fiery, super action orientated. With the Ten of Wands, we have someone that takes burdens and responsibilities of the people that he cares about. He is someone that will do anything and everything in his power to help the people that he cares about. He is someone that, if he could, he will take on every single burden of the people that he cares about and deal with those issues himself to, help out the people that he cares about so they don't have to take care of those things that are painful, those things that hurt them, or those things that are maybe an annoyance or just something that is bothersome, right? If Mingyu could, he will lift off the pain, the suffering, and the hard work that other people have to do. If he could, he definitely would. Also, with this Ten of Wands, it kind of shows that his personality is like, what is it called? Ride or die hard type of person, right? So he's the type of person that he's super loyal. He will definitely, walk the distance for the people that he cares about. There is this sense of loyalty and hard work and wanting to make things easier for the people around him. Because the Ten of Wands talks about someone that is getting closer to the end of a cycle, and it's talking about someone that is carrying all of these burdens, all of these responsibilities, all of these actions that have to be taken, and is like someone that is walking towards their goal or walking towards home or something along those lines, right? So in this case, I think Mingyu is the type of person that likes to be of support also to those people that need that last push to accomplish their goals. So if someone has been like in this marathon for whatever goal that they have in mind, and they're very close to accomplishing it, but it has been so difficult and such a long hardship journey that person almost wants to give up. It's like, this goal is not guaranteed, so what's the point of putting all this hard work? Mingyu will be the first person to be there and encourage them, be there and help them out any way that he can. Now the other card that we have right here is the Eight of Swords, well, not reversed, sideways. So Seems like if there's anything that ever holds Mingyu back, is himself. So the Eight of Swords is usually someone that puts themselves in a mental prison. It is someone that, because of their own ideas, their own overthinking, I guess their blind spot is that overthinking. Is I guess the biggest enemy for Mingyu is his own mind. Let me put it that way. So if he ever holds himself back or he doesn't do something, it is probably because of a mental blockage. It is because he himself may have a limited belief, or maybe he doesn't have enough information to understand a different way or a different approach to achieve his goals or to take action. I mean, you have to keep in mind that this Eight of Swords is in between the Ten of Wands and the Three of Wands. And Wands talk all about taking action, doing things, putting in the work type of thing, right? So with this Eight of Swords in the middle, being put sideways as well, kind of shows that if there's ever an obstacle that Mingyu faces, it becomes a mental issue in the sense of overthinking, or maybe not having enough information, or I guess this goes along the lines of overthinking. Is like then he has like a limited belief, or like, am I good enough for this? Do I have the information that I need? Or maybe because of their lack of information, he doesn't even try to figure out solutions for it, right? So all I'm saying is that his biggest issues or his biggest obstacle could be because he feels like he doesn't know enough about something, or he feels like there is so much that he could do with it that he doesn't know how to focus that energy into one possible action that could be taken. Now, the other card that we have right here for his personality is the Three of Wands. So here we have a ladder and it's just going up. So Mingyu is someone that loves to work with other people. He is someone that truly appreciates outside help coming in when he has a goal. Also with the Three of Wands, it talks of expansion. He is someone that loves, he could be ambitious as well. So whatever goals he has in mind, he's always thinking, what can I do to make things better? What can I do to have more? What can I do to do more as well, right? He is someone that's always thinking of how can he explore different things? How can he expand his skills? How can he experience new goals, new journeys, and just, I think he's someone that focuses a lot on the experience of life. So he really values what else can he do? How can things be different? How can things be better? How can he grow as a person? How can he grow in his career, in his goals, in anything that he wants to do? He's always thinking, how can I do more? Now let's go on to the next section of this reading. So the next question will be, what are Mingyu's strengths? We have Pluto. The moment I saw this card come out, I kind of went like, I'm not surprised. Eight of Wands reverse. The Three of Swords reverse. Nice. And the Four of Wands upright. I took it upright, but it could be reversed, which, I mean, it's interesting. So Mingyu's strengths are Pluto, Eight of Wands reverse, Three of Swords reverse, and the Four of Wands upright. So Pluto being the main energy of his strengths kind of shows that Mingyu is aware, or he believes his strengths are in his transformations. His ability, again, to adapt, his ability to learn, his ability to grow and improve, and also his ability to shed old skin off. So Pluto talks about very harsh transformations. It talks about difficulties and challenges that almost destroy foundations and almost destroys the world that we live in, the perspective that we have of whatever lesson we're learning. Is like a complete destruction of your idea of it, of your lifestyle, of your routine, or even the standing that you have of something in your life, and it's completely destroyed in order for you to grow, to kind of break free from whatever was holding you back, or to expand on something, or to rebuild something, but the best way possible. It's always recreating yourself, always coming anew, right? So with this Pluto energy, we're talking about very harsh and very big transformations. So Mingyu's biggest strength is to survive those transformations and, in a way, even welcome them. I guess his personality is always thinking of expansion. How can he do better? How can he improve? How can he get more skills, right? So this Pluto card kind of shows that his personality, always wanting to improve, inevitably brings this very big destructions, right? Pluto moments are the type of things that we all experience, right? We will all eventually go through a period of our lives where we will transform and become a new version of ourselves, right? However, those transformations are differently for everyone, right? When you have very strong or very present Pluto energy in your chart, you will experience very drastic changes, very dramatic, very painful, or even life-threatening changes, right? Like it's almost like you barely escape, you're like barely alive, or you kind of just came from the ashes. Like it's very big transformation, very drastic, very like it flips you on your head type of transformations, right? So Pluto is can get very messy, but at the end of the day, it's just a transformation to help you with your life, to improve. It definitely is shedding and getting rid of the old, which I think is very interesting with the cards that he got in the tarot. So with the Eight of Wands reverse, is like Mingyu's biggest strength is how to refocus any scattered energy that he has. So if I think it's very easy for him to want to do a bunch of things at once. It's a very Aries thing to do. I will know. I have an Aries ascendant. It is very normal to reach that point in your life where you're like, I want to do everything. And it's, I guess, the very young and naive energy that Aries brings into his personality of like, what is stopping me from doing all of these things, right? And wanting to kind of like tip your toe on everything and try to figure out what is the best thing to do. Also, you have to keep in mind that Aries is a energy that focuses a lot on the individual. So there is no impossibles for Aries. So in this case, I do feel that that can definitely bring a lot of scattered energy to Mingyu. So one of his biggest strengths is how to not be afraid of doing everything, and in a way even get rejected on all those experiences to then refocus himself. That's like the biggest message I got here with this Eight of Wands. Also, we have Mercury in Sagittarius, so that kind of shows that one of his biggest strengths as well is how to think big, how to always see the bigger picture, and then navigate based on where he's at. Maybe on his goals, on an actual place, or things related to his present moment and his goals or his vision, or I guess even his future view as well. Now, the other card that we have right here that I think is very interesting is this Three of Swords reverse. So the Three of Swords reverse is actually a very good card being reversed. But the other thing that I feel is very important to talk about that I usually don't think about, but it makes sense, is that Mingyu holds no resentment for anything, anyone, or any situation that he has gone through. He is very good at letting go of any anger, letting go of pain. He is very good at holding no resentment, and therefore he is very good at letting go of baggage. One of his biggest strengths is to basically heal, right? Because keep in mind, when you hold resentment and when you hold on to anger or you hold on to fears and stuff along those lines, it's because there's still healing that has to be done. There's no need to push it, force it, or even rush that healing process, but it's just a sign that there's still some work that has to be done, right? So the fact that he has this here kind of shows that he's very good at healing, and he's very good at making sure that he doesn't hold any resentment or grudges against other people, situations, or even ways of thinking. There's something else that I want to talk about. So this is a Saturn in Libra, which I think I heard that having Saturn in Libra is a very good placement because Saturn is comfortable with the Libra energy, being able to balance things out, being able to have harmony. So I do feel that in his case he's good at keeping his lessons in check. He's very good at keeping harmony in the things that he has to learn, the things that he has to experience, and the things that will eventually pay out, right? So he understands that healing is a very good way of living a satisfying life and not being held back by baggage is something that he acknowledges and he probably works on as well. Now, the last card that we have right here is the Four of Wands, and we have Venus in Aries. So another of his strengths is his passion. He is someone that is very passionate, very caring, and very loyal to his inner circles. So whoever, maybe family, close friends, whoever he sees as someone close to him, he will definitely take care of them. He'll definitely protect them, and he will do everything in his power to support those people. So whoever he sees as home, whoever he sees as family, whoever he has in his circles, he will give his heart to them 100% and completely. There is a very strong sense of loyalty and a very strong sense of deep care, even understanding and support. He's a very good support. But let's go on to the next question, which is, what are Mingyu's weaknesses? We have Scorpio, which sure. I mean, the ruling planet for Scorpio is Pluto in in modern astrology, but yeah. Hold up, give me a second, I need to focus. We have the King of Cups reversed, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and the Six of Swords upright. Oh, that's kind of funny. Okay, so I'm saying it's kind of funny because I do feel that his weaknesses are shown on his strengths as well as vice versa, right? Like, you can see where his shortcomings are based on his strengths. So with the Scorpio energy, one of his biggest weaknesses is that while he's going through his transformations, he can get very broody and he can reach very dark places. He has a lot of depth in him. We do have the whale, and the whale underneath it has it doesn't have color, it has a lot of darkness. So that tells me, when I see darkness, I see that as a blank canvas, and also a very good place to just kind of isolate yourself and see yourself for who you are. So with this Scorpio energy, one of Mingyu's weaknesses is that he can go very, very deep, super, super deep. And one of the, I wouldn't say dangerous, but one of the biggest challenges about going very deep within yourself is that you kind of reach sometimes this point of having almost like an existential crisis. You reach that point of like, does anything matter? Where at the end of the day, everything boils down to this or that. And it can be very challenging. It can be very difficult to kind of get yourself out of the gutter, right? Get yourself out of that difficult place. Again, this Scorpio energy is kind of reminding me of that Eight of Swords, the overthinking, his biggest weakness. Of course, all of that thinking gives him the strength to heal, but also it puts him in a very difficult position while he's healing. We also have the King of Cups reversed. So I think one of the main reasons why the King of Cups reversed is here is because it's kind of showing that Mingyu has the intuitive subconscious. I don't know how aware he is, but subconscious to heal himself and go through that whole process of cleansing himself, right? However, I don't think he's fully aware how to navigate that in a smooth way. So the best way I can explain this is that with his Scorpio energy is that he's extremely passionate as a person. So when it comes to his healing and to his pain, it's very intense. It can be overwhelming for him. And I feel that with this King of Cups reversed, it's kind of trying to tell us or show us that he finds it kind of difficult how to navigate those waters. Yes, he has survived all of those, and yes, he has healed from those rocky waters and shaky situations. However, I don't know if it's straightforward, but I don't think he has created a routine or established organized way of navigating it. I guess there's still some more exploration that he has to do within himself to navigate those emotions in a way that is more conscious in the healing process rather than just being destructive. So the King of Cups is a king that is able to manage their emotions. It is a king that has the ability to an awareness of understanding how they feel, how they react, and how they take action based on those previous things that I just said. And it is someone that knows how to work with their emotions because they're able to acknowledge them, honor them, and then work with that, right? So I do feel that this is where Mingyu is kind of struggling with. I think he is able to honor them, but I think his biggest issue is being able to kind of identify them. If that makes sense. Like, I think he's feeling everything so intensely and all at once that it's kind of difficult for him to kind of tone it down enough to be able to honor those emotions in a way that is not super rocky and super crazy. But next to it, we have the the Knight of Pentacles. Hold up, this is no king. The Knight of Pentacles reversed, which kind of shows that one of Mingyu's biggest weaknesses is he struggles with analyzing how he feels. He struggles to organize himself and his thoughts, and he is not super observant. He feels his environment, but he doesn't really know how to see, watch, or observe his environment. I guess this also includes himself. He feels how he feels, but he's not very good at actually analyzing those emotions and be like, why am I feeling it? What is this causing it? How can I solve it, right? It's more along the lines of he kind of just goes with the flow. And where he ends up is where he ends up. Now, the other card that we have right here is the Six of Swords. So, the Six of Swords is actually a very good card. So, I don't really know why this is a weakness of his. Oh, never mind. I just remember what I saw the first thing. So, the Six of Swords talks about someone that leaves turmoil waters. It is someone that when there's a problem or there's a conflict, they just decide to walk away from that problem. And since it's Swords energy, this is about thoughts, right? So this is someone that if there's a conflicting thought or there's arguments or if there's issues and problems that are being talked about, this is someone that is like, I'm making the conscious effort to just walk away from the situation. So in this case, I do feel that one of Mingyu's biggest weaknesses is that he could be avoidant to issues and problems. So when he sees that an issue or a problem is about to arise, he may kind of like walk away before it even happens. And this could be an issue of its own, right? Like it could be good in the sense of you're setting a boundary and you're not entertaining problems, you're not entertaining issues. But then this can be an issue itself because then that kind of shows that you can't. In his case, it could be like it's a weakness because he's not addressing the issue at hand, basically. But let's go on to the next question, which is what are Mingyu's fears? We have the Nine of Wands reverse. The Nine of Swords reverse. Interesting. And Mingyu's fears. Those are quite a lot of cards. Yeah, let me put them back. Just give me one more. The King of Cups afraid. I think Mingyu's biggest fear is to show how emotional he can be in a very intimate way. I mean, I don't mean like he's afraid of being like, oh, I'm afraid to show that I'm sad, or I'm afraid to show that I'm happy, or that I'm going through it. No, I'm talking about the depths of I fear actually showing you when I'm breaking down, or showing you when I'm actually in pain, or showing you when I'm hurt, or showing you when I'm genuinely super happy, right? Like deep emotions, right? Like Mingyu likes to keep those to himself or to people close to him, but this King of Cups just kind of shows that he's afraid of showing all of this depth that he carries to other people or even to himself. I think he may fear his intuitive gifts. So what I think is interesting is that he has two nines. He has the Nine of Wands reverse and the Nine of Swords reverse. The first thing that I saw with this Nine of Wands was giving up. His biggest fear is to give up, which I'm kind of laughing because I was like, me too, bro. So one of his biggest fears is to feel like he missed out on something because he gave up too early. He is the type, because the Nine of Wands, when it's upright, is kind of like talking about someone that has been encouraged to give that last push to achieve their goals, or to be discouraged by this mountain of hardships, and life is kind of saying like, just give that little push, you're almost there, don't give up. So with this card in reverse, I have a feeling that Mingyu's biggest fear is giving up when he's so close to achieving a goal or making a dream come true. Like that's his biggest fear, giving up too early. Now the other thing that I saw with this Nine of Swords is The first thing I think about when I see the Nine of Swords is nightmares, stress, being overwhelmed, overthinking. However, with it in reverse, I think Mingyu's biggest fear is to be consumed by those thoughts that he has on the back of his mind. We do have Pluto. I just mentioned the Scorpio energy. We have the whale, and we did get the King of Cups twice. So I do feel the Mingyu's biggest fear is to go down the deep end and never come back. It is to be drowned in by his nightmares, by his stress, by his overwhelming pain, or whenever he feels that, whenever that happens, and just feel like he's been consumed by that, which it is a valid fear in the sense of like it can totally happen that when you are doing a lot of inner healing and you're going through these super big transformations, it can get a bit scary that you will not be able to pull yourself out of that. So I do feel that Mingyu can reach those depths quite easily, and I think he just hasn't really learned how to manage it in a way that he's comfortable with quite yet. He sees himself as a survivor, right? Because lizards have this ability that if their tail is ripped off or whatever happens to their tail, they can like regrow one more, right? So I do feel that in this case, Mingyu has like this sense of rebirth, this sense of being a survivor, being able to survive these hardships. However, I feel that he hasn't reached a consensus, or he hasn't really reached a strategy or a point where he feels comfortable or he feels confident that he will be able to come back from such a place again. I think that he has just managed. I don't think he has fully learned how to work with it though. Now, let's go on to the next question, which is let's talk about the talents and gifts that Mingyu has. What are Mingyu's talents? What are his gifts? You know, it feels very lighthearted after talking about his fears, but what are Mingyu's talents? We have the Five of Wands reversed, the Knight of Cups. Oh, nice. And we have the Star with a couple cards behind it, which I will take this time. So with the Five of Wands, Mingyu's talent is his ability to diffuse arguments and fights. He is very good at actually stopping people from genuinely fighting. He has a talent of making sure that people are not in an environment that are, how should I put it? So if people are actually genuinely getting mad and arguing with each other, he's very good at stopping those fights. If someone's about to physically fist fight each other, he's also very good at stopping those fights. And also, if there's a very tense competitive environment, Mingyu is very good at bringing this lighthearted energy and diffusing that tension and actually calming everyone down. He's very good at, in a way, putting people's guards down. He's very good at that. And why is that? He has the Knight of Cups right here. So one thing is that Mingyu is not afraid of sharing his ideas. He is not afraid of making suggestions and making comments in a way of trying to create solutions. He's very good at just saying, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Also, with this Knight of Cups, we're talking about Pisces energy. So again, he's very intuitive, he's very perceptive, and he might be very good also at reading the room. And also, in a way, reading people in the sense of being able to sense how they're feeling and how they're reacting to his actions and to the environment. So he's very good at seeing, is this person uncomfortable? Is this person happy? Is this person getting angry or they're getting stressed? Like, he's very good at detecting that. He has like this intuitive feeling. Now, the other thing that I was thinking with this Knight of Cups is that another thing of Mingyu's talents and gifts, which many of you have probably experienced, is how charming he is. He's a very charming person, not only through his speech, but also through his actions and his energy. Very charming, very romantic, quite the sweet talker, smooth talker, very suave, right? Now, the other card that we have right here is the Star reverse. Yeah, 2 cards came with it, which is the Eight of Wands reverse and the Ten of Pentacles. So, it's weird. Because usually, when I see the Eight of Wands reverse, I think of someone that has scattered energy. But Mingyu has had it twice, and both times I just feel that in this case, for him, it means that he is someone that is very good at refocusing that energy. Anything that is all up in the air, everything that doesn't have an owner or doesn't have grounding or has not rooted itself anywhere, he kind of just gathers all of that energy and brings it back down. He's very good. He's very grounded. He has a very healthy root chakra. Let me put it that way. And I think that's the main meaning that this Eight of Wands reverse is kind of saying. Now we have the Star reverse. So it's weird because with Mingyu we have this extremes where I can talk about some of like the hardest thing he has gone through, and then being able to bring some of these cards that should be positive, that, or I guess that will technically be negative reverse, and actually see the positive in them. So with the Star reverse, I think that Mingyu is very good at, again, making sure he doesn't give up, even though it's his fear that he gives up early. One of his talents and his strengths is to also not give up easily, right? Again, since it's his fear to give up very early in its change, he kind of overcompensates that fear or tries to work through that fear by making sure he doesn't give up. Also, with the Star reverse, he's very good at motivating people that tell him, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. He's very good at kind of like sparking that fuel in them again, like kind of give them hope again. He's very good at being like, oh, why don't you do this, why don't you do that, solution here, solution there. And he's just very good at trying to kind of lighten up people again. He's very good at kind of bringing this optimism back. And the other card that we have right here is the Ten of Pentacles. So one of the other thing, I guess Mingyu's talent is also to create a healthy environment for his family and creating like this long lasting legacy. So if he were to have children and even have grandchildren, he will be able to pass this personality traits to them, or this way of thinking, or this, I don't know, because okay, this time I'm seeing the Ten of Pentacles as like his legacy is the way that Mingyu carries himself is an example for the future generations of his family, and I guess the people he talks to as well. So even if Mingyu ends up not having children, I guess his nieces and nephews, and I'm saying that outside of his bloodline as well, right? So like his friends and their kids and so on, so on. Like whoever Mingyu ends up interacting with, his way of acting and his way of going about life is the legacy that he's leaving behind. So his approach to life, his personality, his way of thinking, his actions, even his advice to other people is the legacy that he's leaving behind, and that in itself is one of his biggest strengths and one of his biggest talents. That seems to be the main thing here. Also, I guess the other talent or gift that he has is that he will be making shit tons of money that will feed generations and generations to come for him, right? That could also be the meaning here with this Ten of Pentacles. Now let's go into the last section of this reading, which is, what is Mingyu's life purpose, or what is his mission in this lifetime? We have the Angel of Divination, so definitely getting connected to his intuitive gifts and his spirituality. What is Mingyu's life purpose? Let me bring this card back. Let me just bring this card back. Okay, Mingyu, what is your life purpose? What is Mingyu's life purpose? Sure, I'll take those two. We have the Angel of Divination, the Right Hand with Empathy, and the Angel of Death. Okay, we have Pluto, we have Scorpio, and then we have the Angel of Death. If we are not talking about big transformations, then I don't know what else these things will talk about. Anyway, so with the Angel of Divination, we have this symbol right here that to me has always meant soul family. To me, a symbol like that has always talked about having those soul connections, people that you kind of make contracts with to work with in a close network type of way. So in his case, I do feel that one of his life purposes or his life mission is to work with his soul family. Also with the Angel of Divination, it kind of shows that he is someone that is intuitively very connected, has a lot of depth, and will eventually have a lot of, I guess, communication to that intuitive side of him. I don't know how aware he will be and how much he will know about his spiritual gifts, but they're definitely there, and he's definitely using them and experiencing them. Now, with the Right Hand Empathy, one of Mingyu's, I guess, life purpose or his life mission is to help people out with love and care. and compassion, as well as understanding. So with the right hand, there is this sense of being a good support to other people. Also with the right hand, I'm thinking of, like, you know, when you have someone and it's like, this person is my right hand, and it's supposed to kind of show like a loyal companion of sorts. Is like someone that has your back, someone that's super loyal, someone that is there for you, someone that's good support, someone that is a good companion in the sense of like they have whatever it is that you lack, and so on, right? So I do feel that Mingyu is kind of like that support role, that support character. Like in this lifetime, his life purpose is to help other people out, to make sure they feel understood, or to help them feel comfortable and happy, and being, again, being understanding to those people, being there for them, specifically emotionally there for them. Now, the other card that we have right here is the Angel of Death. So I'm getting with the book right here in the apple that there's a sense of having lots of knowledge and understanding about things that cannot be seen, or things that are not really known to other people. And also, all of the hands right here with the eye on the palm make me think that he will naturally be super open and awake with his spiritual gifts. So his life purpose is definitely to start bringing down that knowledge into a grounded and rooted sense. A lot of things that are, okay, how should I put it? I know that we're talking about K-pop idols. I know that we're talking about things that can be a bit superficial and vain, but I do feel that Mingyu has a lot more to give than what an idol is expected to give. But I do feel that what Mingyu has to offer is not something that just anyone can understand, perceive, or even encounter. So all I'm getting at is that if you watch this reading and you're like, I have no fucking clue what you're talking about, Penguin, what are you saying, lady? I'm just over here gonna tell you, don't worry about it. If you don't get it and you don't understand it, it may not be the time for you to understand this. Or you don't have to, you had to encounter this, but you don't really have to understand it quite yet. Believe me, life is very interesting, it's very fun, and it has its way of doing things and its way of managing things. If you're encountering information here that you have never encountered before and you don't understand, I'm just being used as a vessel for you to be introduced to a topic and for a seed to be planted and you to kind of understand something and be like something that will eventually grow. You will understand, you will experience even, and maybe feel like after you have gone through your own experiences, be like, I remember when this was introduced to me. I remember when I first encountered this term, or I first encountered this type of lifestyle, or this type of this type of that. So keep that in mind. I could be talking and I could be spitting out words that you're like, what is this lady saying? What is she going on about? But keep in mind that the depths that Mingyu has, and I am super happy to like swim through and navigate through, is not gonna be everyone's cup of tea, and also will not be understood by everyone. And I'm super aware of that because to me this is comfortable energy. To me this is okay, this is normal, no big dealsies, right? But I do have to keep in mind that I am talking to, or like the people that will be watching this may not really be fully there yet and may not really understand what I'm trying to say. How should I put it? May not even understand the things that were left unsaid. Let me put it that way as well. Because there is things that can only be understood if you just kind of feel them. You go like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I get it. It's kind of hard to explain, but that is the best way I can explain it. And I usually try to make my videos in a way that can be understood by everyone, even if you don't really know about tarot or you haven't really experienced your own like spiritual stuff. Like with some people, it just comes with time. With other people, that's not the type of lifestyle they're going to experience in this lifetime. It happens, it makes sense, right? But I'm bringing all of this up because the moment I reached his life purpose, I kind of realized that, and also I guess I should have known the moment the whale and the lizard came up, that I was going to reach depths that some of you will not understand, but maybe you have to start encountering. And also the moment I saw like soul family and empathy and stuff like that, I was like, I see, we're reaching depths that may be a bit foreign to some of you guys, or at least, I mean, some of you guys could be completely familiar with it, but I don't know about that. So I'm trying to just kind of put it out there that if it doesn't make sense, you don't have to worry about it. You're just not there yet. But yeah, I guess feel free to comment down below if there was anything you didn't understand, and I will definitely do my best to answer back because I do feel that he brought a lot of interesting topics here. I do also feel that there is a lot of spiritual things that we can talk about and uncover and discuss, I guess. But yeah, this was super, super interesting. It was very fun as well. I almost felt like my voice was giving out the moment I reached the fears, I think. But it's probably because I've been talking on for a while. I've been going on yada yada yada, so I am so sorry about that. Also, I hope you guys really liked this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely had a lot of fun. It was super, super interesting. I hope I wasn't going on in circles because there were a lot of repeating themes that came out through Mingyu's reading. Don't get me wrong. But also, I hope that I wasn't going in circles while trying to explain some things here and there. I hope you still enjoyed it or even learned from this reading. But I'll see you on the next one, whenever that is, however that is. Make sure to give a lot of love and support to Mingyu. Let's hope we have a peaceful birthday for him and many more to come. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hearing my tangents. Thank you for staying till the end if you did that. I mean, if you did, I'm so thankful and so grateful that you went through it. It's a lengthy boy. This one's a big video. Also, feel free to join my Patreon if you want to uncover a little bit more about yourself. You know, my Patreon is more focused on you guys because I definitely want to kind of start opening the door to kind of help you guys with your spiritual knowledge and to kind of know yourselves better and venture more into the, I guess, the spiritual unknown of sorts. Which I guess to me is more about self-discovery, so that will be my focus, trying to be some sort of guide or some sort of, I guess, vessel to help you uncover more about yourselves. But that's on Patreon. On my YouTube, you will just see more K-pop stuff, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's keep it, lighthearted and fun, but also as a good learning tool. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Love and healing from my part to you. Thank you so much for watching, for all the love and support, and bye.